So in Zhenjiang, China, a sponsor secretly replaced the traditionally female Mazu representative with his own 7-year-old son. So what's happening after replacement is the boys cast the moon block 8 consecutive times and receiving 8 consecutive in-bay, which means the Mazu is very, very angry and everything, the parade has to be stopped. However, after the original female representative was being brought back, she immediately cast 3 consecutive Shenbei, which means Mazu is agreed the parade can keep going and she's happy for now. So this news brought a very interesting question. Is this traditional ritual really represent goddess anger or just simply probability at work? So in the beginning, let's have a quick introduction about the moon block. In our culture, we usually go to temple and asking goddess yes or no question and cast the moon block to receive the confirmation, which is receive the response from device. So you can, if you can see, there's a 3 combination. So Shenbei usually means device agree what you're asking, and you have to receive 3 consecutive Shenbei to confirm your question. So it's a 1 flat, 1 round. So if you receive 2 flat, means Xiaobei means your question is not clear enough. You might have to ask it one more time. So if you receive Inbei means your device angry and or your question is not really gonna happen. So in the beginning, we try to do some experiment to determine what's the probability for flat up or round up. So we just do really quick experiment for, we do the casting per block 100 times per block, and then we record the result. And because we only have 100 times per block, we don't think this is gonna be the good number with simple point estimate. Therefore, we're using beta distribution for each block A and block B. And after that, you can see we also doing 100,000 times example from both distribution and to calculate the probability for Shenbei, for Inbei, and for Xiaobei. So what we are trying to do is using statistical significance as a framework to determine whether or not our observed result, which is the study we just did, is surprising enough to rule out pure chance. So what we are trying to do is we define a new hypothesis as a random result from casting. And the test statistical is just we need to receive 3 consecutive Shenbei from our casting. And the p-value just the probability for 3 consecutive Shenbei. So based on our sampling from data distribution, we got probably around 11% for the Shenbei from the 3 consecutive Shenbei probability. If we simply compare the p-value and the significance threshold, we will say the result from 3 consecutive Shenbei is not surprising enough to rule out this casting result just by purely random. So the next image is for us trying to using all the sampling from our beta distribution and to see how many consecutive Shenbei will be able to represent, will be able to over the threshold. So we will say at least we will need 5 consecutive Shenbei to achieve statistical significance. So for the last part of the project, we basically design a quick, easy, simple app for everybody to experience what is actually the moon block casting. So in the left side of the app, you can actually control your probability. And then there's a 2 part of the website. The first part, you can actually casting the moon block, and we will collect all the results for you and also show you the probability for your result so far by now. And second part is just simply input your result by yourself. Finally, we use this app to calculate the probability based on the news we mentioned in the beginning of the video. So to receive 8 in-bay, as you can see, which is very, very low probability to reach this kind of result. So to summary of the whole project, if we're trying to say the moon block casting really represents something outside of the random casting situation, we at least need to 5 consecutive Shenbei be able to cross the significant threshold. However, if we only look at the Zhenjiang situation, 8 consecutive in-bay is really it's almost impossible to happen. So with this traditional casting ritual, we will still believe there's a certain power over the random probability casting situation.